Hello Flosstube friends, I am Lisa and this is my channel Cross by Floss where I talk about cross stitching and life blabbings. So welcome. If you are a returning viewer, a returning subscriber, you know how much I appreciate you and love all the comments and love interacting with you. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome. I have noticed that my numbers have ticked up in the last couple of weeks. And I'm not sure if it's because somebody shouted me out. So if that's the case and you know that, please let me know so I can go to their channel and thank them, or their Instagram or wherever. And if it's because of the whip parade, thank you. That was such a fun video to put together. I know it was really long. It was longer than I intended. And I even edited, so it was longer. But it was nice to be able to pull out all of my whips and see what I had. And I had two more whips. One was Frankenstein, I did find it. And the other one was, it was October 31st from one of the cross stitch magazines, Halloween edition. And that's where Frankenstein was. It was in the pages there. I don't know why, because it's not from there. So I was apparently having a minute. So I had two more whips. So how many whips did I say I had? 51, 53. So now I'm up to 53 or 55 whips. We're just going to let that go. And again, still less whips than I thought I was going to have. Anywho, if you are here as a subscriber because of that, thank you so much. I hope that, you know, you see future videos and like what you see and continue watching. So it's really nice and I welcome you all. Thank you. So it has been a couple weeks since my last videos and I kind of did them back to back a little bit because I knew that I was not going to be around for the last weekend, which typically would have been a Stitch With Me video. But I was at a girls' retreat weekend, which was a lovely. I have been doing this weekend for over 10 years and I've enjoyed it immensely. I look forward to it every year. It is actually a scrapbooking retreat and it's mainly the ladies who go are scrapbookers, and it has, in the last few years, it has turned into still mostly scrapbookers, but a few of us, not that I don't scrapbook anymore, because I do, well, I haven't for years, but I want to. I have all the stuff for it and I love it. I just, again, time. And so I'm not organized enough to bring stuff there. So I bring, you know, whatever my project of the year is. So, you know, one year I was card making and another year I was wreath making and, you know, or crocheting or cross stitching, or, you know, just bringing my iPad and reading a book, you know, like just to have the weekend away and get together, you know, with some good friends that you only get to see once a year, and gossip and eat too much, and there may be a touch of drinking, and it's just a lot of fun. So I look forward to that every year. And funny story, so you know, when the email came out that she was gonna hold it, even though it was COVID and all of the things, that she was still going to hold it, but it was going to be very, very limited for the amount of people who could come. Normally we have anywhere between 18 to 23 ladies who come every year. And the last few years have kind of been dwindling. I think, you know, us getting busier, kids are getting older, a lot of them are graduating, or, you know, getting married, because we're all in that kind of age group. And so, you know, some people, and plus, you know, for some, getting away for a weekend can be hard. Anyway, so when she sent out the email, you know, I looked at my schedule, I looked at Mr. G's schedule, and you know, he wasn't supposed to be home that weekend. So I was like, yes, I'm gonna go. You know, paid my money, did my things. And as it got closer and closer, and I'd mentioned it to him several times, you know, he's known since we've started, you know, being together, that I go on this weekend retreat, and it's always been fine. And so, you know, I looked at his schedule. He was supposed to be on the road. He was coming back, but based on, you know, the loads and everything, he was coming back Wednesday, which meant that he would be back out on Friday. So I'm like, perfect. You know, he's out Friday morning at 8. I am going to go to this thing Friday afternoon, late afternoon. Perfect, right? I get my daughter all settled with my grandbabies and, you know, having her be picked up at a certain time. All good, right? Well, just before, like Tuesday night, he says to me, my truck needs to be fixed, and so I probably won't be going out on Friday. And I'm like, oh, okay, so Saturday? He's like, no, I think I'm home all weekend. And I'm like, you're not. Come on now. I have this scrapbooking retreat that I'm going to, blah, 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 right? And so long story short, he got to stay home with, my son came up for the weekend, and he had a couple appointments last week, so he just stayed for the week. And so he was up for that weekend. And so Mr. G got to hang out with my boys, and I went girl gossiping. It was good times. I left super late on Friday evening, and I came home early Sunday afternoon. So I still was able to spend time with him. And, you know, do laundry, do all the things, yada, yada. Yeah. So, and he's going to be out for quite a while now, I think, because it's just delivery after delivery after delivery. So it's all good. So, yeah. So scrapbooking retreat, and also the last 2 weeks, I work for an accounting firm. And if you work in the accounting world, or need an accountant for your businesses, then you know that December and January are crazy months for the accounting, for accountants. And so I've been working a lot of hours the last couple of weeks, just because of the nature of, you know, help that the bookkeepers need. And then I also do the 1099s and W-2s and that kind of thing for our company. And so I've just been working a lot of hours, and because I still have the little during the day to do schoolwork and everything, so I'm working later in the evening as well. And I'm just tired. I'm so tired. And so as a consequence, very little stitching got done. And very little stitching got done at the girls' weekend as well, because there was a lot of blabbing. And like I said, I got there late Friday evening, and my girlfriends and I chit-chatted until almost midnight. And then I went shopping on Saturday. I have a story. And then, and so I cross-stitched a little bit, you know, Saturday night, and then a touch on Sunday morning as we were kind of all getting ready to go. And so, yeah. Anyways, it was still a nice weekend. You know, I got a bed to I have a bed to myself most of the time. But it was just nice. Anyways, it was good for the soul. And that's important. We all need that sometimes. But anyways, yes, so very little stitching to show you. So let's just do that, because, you know, I could blab on forever, and eventually people are going to be like, yep, we're done. That girl talks a lot. Yes, she does. All right. So one of the pieces that I pulled out during the weekend, the girls' weekend, was this tiny Modernist, and it's a free chart that Tiny Modernist has on her, is it her blog or her website? I'm not entirely sure. I've had this for a while. I think I pulled this one out for, in 2020, I did a All Hallows April sale for my birthday. I celebrate my birthday all month long, and I did almost a start a day, and I think there's 31 days in April, and I think I got 29 projects in, but this one's called Witch's Brew, And I got a very, very small amount done on that. I put in the B. And did I do anything else? I think that that's it. I think that I just put in the B. Now, the black, is, you know, it's called for DMC colors. But my black is Anchor black because I like the coverage better. And this is done either on a 16 or an 18 count, just white Ada. I think it's 18 count, white Ada. And it's going to be real pretty when it's done. I'm looking forward to it. So I pulled that one out because, you know, letters are easy to do when you're chit-chatting, even though it was one letter. There was a lot of chit-chatting. Okay, the other one that I pulled out while I was there, and then also did a little bit more when I came home, was this 4 and 20 Blackbirds pattern from Rosewood Manor, Karen Kluba, and I love this pattern. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm doing this. When I saw this, it reminded me of my grandma. My grandma used to sing this little rhyme when my brother and I were younger. And I still hear her voice in my head when she was in the kitchen or we were just playing. And that was really fun. So what did I get done? I finished this... I don't know what you call it, but you know, like a little thing, the outline. I finished all of that outline, and then I put in a couple of birds, and then I got some color in because surprisingly, there is actually a lot of color in here, but it's bursts of color. Oh, and I basically put in blue. There's a lot of blue. Let's see here. So in the tree, I put in some blue in the flowers of the tree, and then in the little, I don't think it's a cartouche, but anyways, so that's what I got done in there. And here are the colors. They're real pretty. They're really, really pretty. And there is, like you see, there's a lot of color, but it's bursts of color in here. And so yeah, it's so pretty though. And so I enjoyed putting that out. And oh man, I got a lot of compliments while I was at the girls' weekend on this, which, you know, if only they knew how slow of a stitcher I am. But it was fun. So it was nice to pull that one out again, though it's probably going to go away for another little while just because I have some other things that are going on. And then I pulled out this one. It was a grandma weekend, I guess. So this is Blackbird Designs, Light Upon the Lawn, The Light Upon the Lawn. And I am doing this one in memory of my grandma, and because she just absolutely loved birdhouses, flowers, you know, she was just super elegant. And so it just reminds me of my grandma every time I see this pattern. So I got, what did I get done? I did this down here, this motif here, and then I started getting some of the bird. Basically, I worked on one color, which was Flatfish, I think, in Weeks Dye Works. And so I got the wing outline of one wing, got some feet in, and started, you know, beefing up the bird because that bird looks real skinny. And I think that's all I got done in the last couple of weeks. Really, 3 things, and such minimal stitching, such minimal stitching. So, and then these are the colors that go in. They're pretty. There's three different shades of blue, 3 or 4 different shades of blue, and so super pretty, super pretty. But seriously, that's all I got done in the stitching. So that's all I have for stitching. But I do have some plans. So let's do the plans, and then we'll go on to haul, and then we'll go on to some blabbings of some things of the week. So I am doing Wipgo, and I showed you in my last video my January pieces. I did meet the goals on both those pieces in January because I did them super early in January. Before I got busy, and so I managed to get the time in mainly during football games. But there's no football this weekend, so yeah. But Jessemariedoesstuff, who is the creator of Wipgo, she pulled the numbers for February, and I believe it's 4 and 20. So on my Wipgo board, 4 and 20 are, 4 is Halloween. It's a Halloween sal by Tiny Modernist. And I joined, I didn't actually do it. So I put it on my board because it was a sal that I really wanted to do in 2020 and just never got to. And then 20 is Margaret Cottam, age 9, from La Di Da. And I'm super excited. So again, she pulled out, you know, 2 numbers, 1 sal for me and 1 sampler for me, which that's what my Wipgo is, sals and samplers. And so it was nice. I'm doing a sal and a sampler each month so far, and fingers crossed that continues because my sals are big and so are my samplers. So it's kind of nice to not, you know, be concentrating on 2 sals or two not that I guess it matters, but it's still nice. There's variety. Okay, there's still variety. Lisa, just let it go. Anywho, Margaret Cottam, age 9. I got this, I want to say off of Stash Unload, and there's 3 parts to it. And I love La Di Da's designs, and when I saw this little sampler, I was like, oh my goodness, it's aged, it's cute, it's beautiful, it's just so sweet. And so she split it into 3 different parts, and this is part 1. So that 10 hours, a minimum of 10 hours is going to go into Margaret Cottam for February. And because the Super Bowl is on next weekend, there will be no stitching because I need to concentrate on what is happening in the game and couch coach. So because my Kansas City, my Chiefs just need to win. I mean, they just need to win. So they just need to win. And also, you know, whatever the halftime show is going to be, I need to be paying attention to that. So I'm not going to stitch because, as I have learned, when I'm watching football and couch coaching and, you know, helping up my team, I make mistakes in my cross stitching, and I just can't in this because I just, anywho, I still need to get a couple of colors for it too. So I have to call my L&S on Monday morning and do that. And I pulled out a couple of pieces of fabric to do it on. Now, let's see here. In the pattern, you see that? It's super, like, it's very linen-y, aged, you know, very, it's aged. And what did she do it on? Did she say what she did it on? 30 count cocoa linen by Weeks Dye Works. Well, I don't use linen, and I sure as heck am not cross stitching on 30 counts either. And so cocoa linen, I tried to find something in my stash that it would go with. And so I pulled out a couple of, oh wow, they're all BeStitch Me. I have 3 different BeStitch Me fabrics. This one is Beachfront. Let's see, glare, there we go. And then this one is Peanut. And this one is Vanilla Latte. I actually think I might be doing it on this one. I like both Beachfront and Peanut. Peanut also might be a contender. I don't know. But when I get the colors, when I get the flosses, I'm going to throw them on all 3 of those fabrics. I had also pulled out a piece of 18 count dirty Ada, and I just think it's too dark. So I also had pulled out a piece of 18 count mocha vintage country mocha, but I think that that's just a little too modern-ish, I think. So this piece is going to go for my Halloween. Let's see here. Yes, it's the whole thing. It's going to go to the Tiny Modernist. I think that will be fantastic because the 2 colors in here are, she called for Weeks Dye Works, Whitewash, and Blackbird. I'm not doing Weeks Dye Works. I'm going to look in my Fancy Floss storage and see if I can find a black and a white that I like. You know, I have quite a bit of different, you know, I've got BeStitch Me, I've got Color and Cotton, I've got Nancy Turner, who is she? Oh, I forget. I have all of those kinds of flosses, and so I think I might just look through my stash and find a variegated white and a variegated black-ish color to do this pattern on. So I think that the vintage country mocha is going to look really nice with this pattern, and it will make the white really stand out, which is what I want on this piece, because that's all, there's just the 2 colors, white and black. So so a little undecided on the fabrics, but I have a couple of days, well, until I get my floss. So really what I'll do is I'll start the Tiny Modernist one first and get, you know, 10 hours in on that one, and then move on to Margaret. So looking forward to getting those 2 done. So that's like kind of it for plans even. Holy smokes, we're really cooking with gas. Okay, now haul. I'm not gonna lie, there's not a lot of haul, like not as much as, you know, in prior videos, and because I have canceled quite a few subscriptions to things, I'm not getting as many packages as I normally do. But I do have a couple of the months, so let's go through those really quickly. Color and Cotton, I belong to their their floss of the month, and these are the 3 new ones these are December's. So, and I just got these. So, but how pretty are these? Like Turmeric, Mars, and what was this one called? Safari. Look at the variegation in Safari. It's beautiful. So really happy about that. Those are pretty flosses. And then still with Color and Cotton, I got a notification that they had some fabric grab bags, and I love, you know, Color and Cotton fabrics, and so when they said that they had some fabric grab bags, you've got to be fast. Like when they make their notification, you best be getting in there and saying, I want these. So I did, and I was a little greedy piggy pants, and I bought 3 grab bags. So they are, they're all different size Adas, and actually it looks like I got a lot of 18 count. Actually, it looks like I got 16 and 18 count Adas. And there's 3 pieces per grab bag. So I have 9 new pieces of Ada. They're 8 by 12 pieces. And I've got a lot of actually great neutrals in here. And then this very loud pink. And I'm not a pink girl. Like it's not my first go-to, but it will look lovely for either a Valentine piece or a spring piece ornament or something. So super cute and totally gonna use. But for the most part, these are very, very neutral fabrics. So perfect. So that was fun. I'm telling you, get on their notification list. I mean, don't get on their notification list, because if you take all them and I don't get any, I'm going to be real sad. And then I belong to Brandy, BeStitch Me's Fabric of the Month and Silk of the Months. And you guys, Brandy's silks are just gorgeous. Like, look at these. And again, I mean, they're pinks, but they're so pretty. And I think that just using these and incorporating these into a couple of small ornaments or Valentine-ish pieces is going to look really, really cute. So when you belong to her Floss of the Month, she sends you 50 yards of silks, and they are lovely. Okay, can we see them all? No, this guy over here is hiding. There you go. So those are the 5 colors that came. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that was a nice little, in my it doesn't say what month this is. So I mean, it came at the same time, so I don't know if this is January. It must be January. So I also get the fabric, and I changed to an 18 count because I've got a lot of 16 count of hers, and I'm going to go to 18 count and then 20 count. So right now I'm at 18 count neutral, and this is the fabric of the month. It is called Honey. Oh my gosh, that glare. I normally take these out of the packages, you guys, and I didn't this time. I'm sorry. But a beautiful fabric for a sampler. Oh. Man, this might have to go into Margaret Cottam's pile too, because this also would be a really good fabric. Darn it. Okay. And then I went to my L&S, and I got a little pile. So I picked up some more flosses, because you can't have enough. There's no such thing as too much fancy floss, is there? No, there's not. So I picked up a couple of Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Classic Colorworks flosses, and they actually are for a couple of charts that I picked up in here that I'll show you in a minute. I also, because clearly I just don't have enough Ada in my life. I don't know what I'm doing. But I picked up mostly 18 counts. So 3 18 count Adas, 1 in ivory, 1 in platinum, and 1 in dirty. I love dirty. Dirty is such a, I mean, it sounds funny because it sounds dirty, but it's not a dirty fabric. And then I picked up a 16 count Touch of Gray, and I love Touch of Gray. It's a very nice, elegant, neutral, especially for mirrors. Speaking of mirrors, I bought me some more patterns, because why wouldn't I? And it's so funny because I, have been putting all of my inventory on Hello Odin. I've been putting all my inventory in the Cross Stitch app or the X Stitch app on my phone. And here I am in the store and I'm like, okay, do I have this Mira? No. Do I have this Mira? No. Do I have this Nora? No. I have to look because I've been known to buy several of the same pattern. Clearly I like them. So I picked up Shimmering Mermaid. She's so pretty. This one, I adore this one. Emerald Mermaid. She's so pretty. So those were the two Miras, and then I picked up these two Noras. Portrait of Caroline in pink. Oh, she's so elegant. And you know, these are not that big. I mean, they're 81 by 104. So it should take me about 4 years to do, right? And then this one is Portrait of Lauren in blue. And again, she's 87 by 106, so another 4 years. So 8 years I should have these two done. And of course, Denise laughs at me because she's like, oh, there's, you know, a lot of block color in here. You should get this done real fast. I'm like, who are you? Do you not know me? It's gonna take a while. And then as I was perusing through the lavender and lace patterns that she has left, and she doesn't have that many left, I found this one called Angel Sampler, and it's just beautiful. Now she used wildflowers. Marilyn, the designer, used wildflowers for her pieces, but she also gives you the conversion to DMC. So I'm using DMC. And then I picked up the new Teresa Kogut sampler called Above All. That's so cute. Well, there we go. It's such a pretty pattern. So now this one's 179 by 178, so that should take me 8 years. I'm not gonna live long enough to get these all done. And then I picked up two Blackbird designs, Garden Borders, which is in this Abecedarian series, number 12. And I think I almost have all of the Abecedarian series. I gotta go look, but they fascinate me. And then Christmas Rose, which is number 4 in the Christmas Sampler series. So that's really pretty. And that is the one on the back. So pretty. And so anyways, the flosses that I bought are flosses from in here that I knew I did not have. And then I picked up the latest copy of Just Cross Stitch. I don't have a subscription to Just Cross Stitch. I used to long time ago. And I was just getting a bunch of magazines and not any stitching in. And so I ditched my subscription and now I just buy, you know, the ones that interest me. But a lot of people have been showing this, and the reason why I bought it is I'm gonna show you 45. Let's see here. Autumn Lane Stitchery, who I love all those whimsical designs that Erin does. Erin and Cassandra from Autumn Lane Stitchery. He did this design in the Just Cross Stitch February edition, and I saw a couple of people who were, you know, stitching the gnomes, and I love gnomes. I think that gnomes are just adorbs. I've made some gnomes. I love little gnomes. I have garden gnomes. I have fairy gnomes. I've got all kinds of gnomes, and I just love them. And so when I saw that, I was like, I need to buy this magazine for that. So I purchased that. Then in my normal numbered Flosstube, which, did I ever say what Flosstube number this is? This is number 31. So in number 30, I had mentioned that my hands had gotten super, super, super dry and like they were cracking and almost bleeding. Like it was horrible, and the peeling and everything. And one of my viewers had mentioned that I put a call out and said, you know, what kind of lotion do you use? Because I didn't want anything that, you know, was going to transfer onto my cross stitching and all the things. And I've been using working hands, whatever in the green bottle is. And I also use Eucerin in the cart, but that one is a little bit more, it takes a while to soak in. And so it's not like I can stitch right away or anything. But she had said the Naked Bee, and I'm telling you guys, this is lovely. My hands, I've been using it for just over a week now, and I'm so impressed. Not only is the smell delicious, it's orange blossom honey. It is delicious smelling. Oh my gosh. But it is nice and light, and I put it on several times a day. I put more on at night before I go to bed, and it has made my hands, I mean, I'm not super cracked and peeling anymore, so that is a bonus. So thank you so much for recommending that. I hopped on Amazon right away. It came with some lip chapstick as well, and 2 of those. So I gave one to my daughter because there's no way I'll just buy it again, but it takes me a long time to use a bottle of lotion that size anyway. And then the other thing I bought, Brenda and the Cereal Starter were showing these little round tags that you can get at Staples or Office Max or, you know, pretty much anywhere in the stationery department, honestly, or Amazon, of course. And that they had these little, they're little rimmed tags. And so they make, you know, a nice little noise on your bags. But I went to go get them and I put them in my cart, and then the seller that I was using jacked up the price. And so I was like, yeah, and you only got 50. And I was like, okay, no, I'm over that. So I started searching for other ones, and I found these ones. So, so they are kind of a teardroppy, no, it's still a circle. Shape, and it's 2-sided, so you can use either side, and it comes with stickers, the round stickers. And so I just wrote all of my pattern names on the stickers, and then just started putting them on the tags. The little ring comes with the tag, and so this is what they are: round plastic TK tags, white label. I got 100 of them and 200 stickers. So you can double side if you want for your stickers. So what I did on mine, originally I was going to put like the name of the pattern on the front and then the name of the designer on the back. And then I'm like, no, Lisa, you can double use this. So when you're done with this pattern, you can just put a new sticker over top of it, or rip this one off, use the other side, whatever. And so double use, right? So I'm going to be able to use these tags 200 times. I can do it for 200 projects. That sounded better? Maybe. Anyway, in my head, it all sounds right. So anyways, I paid $8, I want to say, for 100 of these tags, and they're fantastic. They may not ting as nicely as the ones that, yeah, they don't ting as nice as the ones that Brenda and the Cereal Starter have, but it's okay because, you know, it's fine because they're not tinging on the shelf anyway. So, and it was a lot cheaper, and I get more stickers. So that's what I did. And then I went thrifting. Well, actually, how about I do the giveaway, so if you don't care about my thrifting, you don't have to watch, or the rest of my stories. So let me see now. In video 30, I had finished this little pattern by the Prairie Schooler, and I said that this was my share for that video. And so I did the random name generator picker thingy, and P. Welch, P. Welch. You are the recipient of this lovely little pattern. So if you get in touch with me and email me at crossbyfloss, which will also be in the description below, I will get this out to the mail to you as soon as possible. So congratulations. And unfortunately, because I didn't finish anything this week or the last 2 weeks, I don't have another share yet. So hopefully in the next video. Okay, so on to, you know, my stories and my other stuff. I went thrifting. Of course I did. So even on the girls' weekend, when I went shopping on Saturday, so I had to go to Costco because we were doing brunch on Sunday for the group. And so I committed to buy the items for brunch, some of the items for brunch on Sunday. And because Mr. G was home, I was not able to go and do it on Friday like I had planned on my way in because I had left so late, they were closed. And so I then had to go out on Saturday morning to go and get the items. And so I thought, well, as I'm driving towards the Costco, let's see what kind of thrift stores are around. And they had a Goodwill in the little area. And so I went on in there, and you guys, I scored. Well, I mean, scored as in, like, they had some good stuff. So I'm always looking for, you know, some little domes. And I found this one, and close up. Maybe let's get a piece of paper behind there so you can see. Well, that's not helpful either, is it? Oh my goodness sakes. There we go. So do you see it's etched? It's got etching. No, you can't even really see that, can you? Anyway, no, it's better that way. There's etching in this glass, and little old and super cute. They wanted $1.99 for this, and I was like, yes, please. There's no dings, scratches, nothing on this little piece, and I'm like, you guys. But it's cute to put, you know, a little small in a little, on a little stand, and then you put the little, I know that there's a name for this. It escapes me right now. Words, and I'm tired. And then I always go through the frames, and I found this one. And while it's not, you know, super anything, I'm always on the hunt for oval frames that that I can put a smaller piece in. And so I'm going to actually paint this. It's a plastic frame. It does not look plasticky, but it's a plastic frame. And then it's got its own little stand on it, which is so cute. And so it was a little more than I normally pay, but because of the shape, it was perfect. And so I picked that up. And then as I'm looking through the frames, okay, the other piece that I found while I was hunting in the frames was this one here. And I was stunned. Like, I was stunned. It's beautifully framed. It's, you know, nicely framed. And then on the back, it's nicely finished. And it has a note from the stitcher to the recipient. And the stitcher's name was Mel. I'm not going to say who the recipient was. But Mel, your stitching was beautiful, and the recipient for donating this piece to Goodwill, it has become my treasure. And so thank you. And but it's absolutely gorgeous. Like, the stitching is just sad glare. There we go. The stitching is just absolutely beautiful. So, but it reminds me of Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage. Yeah. That's what it reminds me of. So I meant to go and have a look through the patterns and see if it was one of them. And then what the name of the design was, if it's indeed either one of those companies, because it looks like one. So, but yeah, this was in there. And then the worst thing was, it was $3.99, but it was half off. So it was $2. $2. You can't even buy the Ada for $2. You can't buy 3 skeins of DMC for $2. Like, that's And then yesterday, after I got my hair done, I went to another Goodwill and I found this Q-Snap, brand new Q-Snap, 8x8. Hello, thank you very much. And it also was half price, so it was $2. $2. I'm like, yes. So then I'm like, okay, score. Are there more? Because where there's one, there might be 2 or more, right? And so I'm now digging through this whole entire pile. There was nothing. Just the one. Okay, and then if you follow me on Instagram, I had posted a picture of this. It's going somewhere in here. This cabinet. So there's a little bit of a funny story to this cabinet. So I go on OfferUp. I sell a lot of things through OfferUp, my crafts and things like that I no longer want. And instead of Goodwilling, I try to, put them in OfferUp first, and then if it doesn't go after a certain time, then yes, I'm going to donate it, because after a while, I just, it's got to go. And so I have a couple of keywords that I am searching for certain things. And, I get notifications throughout the day that keyword has shown up. So I go and I have a look, and this piece is in there and it's listed for $1. So I look at it and I hem and I haw, and the stupid thing is it's really close to me. Like, the seller was super close to me. And so I'm hemming and hawing, and 4 hours later, I message him and say, hey, is this still available? I'm interested, And he goes, nope, sorry, somebody's picking it up tomorrow. I'm like, darn it. So this was on like a Wednesday. So I'm like, well, darn it, silly me, when you see something and you really want it, then, And so when I had viewed it in the pictures that he had posted, I thought that it would be a perfect wall cabinet. That's what I thought it was, because he didn't have any measurements or anything, and there was nothing around to let you know like the actual size of what it was. And so in my head, I'm like, that would be a perfect little cabinet to put on the wall and put hooks in, and then put my fancy flosses on. So then I can see them, and they're on rings, right? And I can see them, and they're behind a closed door, because with the dog, hair flies. And so I don't leave like my threads out, because my threads or my fabric, because I know that either the dirt from outside is, and the dog's coming in and out, or his hair is going to get into my stuff. And so I just protect it a little more. So I'm thinking that will be, I've been trying to figure out what to do with my fancy flosses. So I'm like, perfect, right? So I don't get it. So I'm like, all right. So I'm at Costco, and I'm finishing shopping, the whole deal. And I get this message, and the guy says, they never showed up. It's yours if you want it. And I'm like, fantastic. It's now Saturday, right? So, and it was Wednesday that I had messaged him. So I'm like, fantastic. Yes, I do want it, but I'm not near my area, which means that I would have to drive out there to go pick it up, and then, come back to the girl weekend and everything. So I call Mr. G, and I'm like, babe, I need you to go get this thing. I know you're probably, hanging out with the boys, doing whatever, watching football, but urge me. And so, So I'm like, here's the address that he said. He's moved it outside. You need to go get it like right now, right? And he's like, okay, well, how much is it? And I'm like, $1. And he's like, $1? And I'm like, yeah, that's what he said. So I messaged the guy back and I'm like, are you sure you only want $1 for it? Like, did you maybe miss a 0 or 2 zeros? Because, you know, I'm willing to pay, but I need to know, you know? And he goes, no, it's free. And I'm like, even better. Because on OfferUp, you can say free. So I don't know why I put it in for $1, but whatever, it's fine. So I'm like, no, babe, it's free. I need you to go like right now. Like, he's put it outside. And so Mr. G drives down there and gets it. And I said to him, and I'm in the parking lot. I'm texting, you know, the whole entire time. And I said to him, when you pick it up, can you please take a picture of it for me so I can see, you know, exactly what it's like? So he takes a picture and I'm like, that's fantastic for free, right? And I said, is it heavy? And he goes, well, kind of. And I said, too heavy for the wall? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, oh man, darn it. Like what's happening, right? So I said, well, how big is it? And he goes, because I told him what I wanted, and he goes, oh no, it's too big for that, hun. And I'm like, what? No, it's not. And so he stands next to it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a little bigger than I thought. It's okay. I have new plans now. I have new plans. So, so it is painted. It is painted that color. And so I was, and it comes with shelves. It comes with the shelves. It's in the glasses in immaculate. The whole piece is immaculate other than it's painted. And I know it's an antique. And so I was thinking I would strip it and see what wood is underneath. But I've looked at the back and it's dark. It's dark. And I don't do dark wood. I'm a light wood girl. And so I'm going to, and all the antique people out there are going to just absolutely shudder, but I'm going to paint it farmhouse style and lighten it up a little bit and put it in. It's going in my office or my croffice, but it is now going to be the fabric sewing area cabinet. I was originally looking for a hutch, and this cabinet's going to fit the bill, and I'll be able to see all the pretty fabrics, and they'll be on pretty shelves, and so that's what I'm going to do with it. And in the future, if I decide that I want to strip it, I totally can, but I do know that it's a dark wood underneath, and my mom likes the dark wood. I like the light wood. I'm a bird's eye maple kind of, you know, yeah. So that's the story to that. It was really funny though, because here was also what was a little funny is that, you know, when the guy had said, oh, it's taken and somebody's coming, I kind of sent up a prayer and said, please don't let those people show up. They really don't want this thing. And so when he texted me on Saturday, I was like, yay me. So that kind of made my week. It was pretty funny. All right. So, the other thing that I want to talk about is in my whip parade, I had shown all of, well, the bags that I had my whips in. And I had talked about some bags that I had bought off of Amazon. And I had purchased 3 different types of, or styles of bags from Amazon. Now, I bought my bags, well, I started buying my bags in 2017 when I came back to cross stitch. And, so the Burberry type bags that I showed, the blue and the beigey type bags, I bought those in 2017. And so I went back through my purchases to look, and that link, the seller, it's no longer. So I apologize, but I can't. And even doing a search through Amazon, I couldn't find those bags again. So even if it wasn't from that seller. So, unfortunately, I don't think that those bags are available, at least not what I could see. If you can find them, fantastic, and please share, because they are really nice bags. The clear ones and the mesh front ones, I put links in my last video so you could see that. and go in and buy those. I still advocate for those bags because, you know, if you can't afford a fabric project bag or you're not a sewer and can't do your own, it's a great option to put your projects in because it keeps them safe and clean and portable. So, so that is that. Today I'm a little excited. Oh, there, I do have one more little piece of mail that I sort of forgot, but I can't show it to you yet. So later today I am getting on another LNS that I go to, which is Acorns and Threads. They are doing a Zoom meetup for a club that I am a part of. And so that's what I'm going to get to do a little later today. And so this was my package that I've slit the top so that I was going to show you guys. But then I was like, well, no, wait a minute. No, I can't because I haven't done the Zoom meetup yet. So I'm excited to see what's in here. I have not even gotten into the contents. So I'm excited to see that and get into the Zoom. So that's going to be a lot of fun. What else did oh my gosh. Okay. So even though I'm tired and I haven't done any stitching, I've been binge watching Netflix. Holy good night, nurse. Okay. So I'm sure that everybody in the world has heard about Bridgerton, the Shonda Rhimes, new series that she's doing. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. I binge watched that for 3 nights. And I probably could have done it in 2 if I had not fallen asleep several times and had to back up and rewatch a couple of things. But ladies and gentlemen, if that Duke, he is hot. And every time they do a close-up of him, I'm like, is it wrong that I want to go up to the screen and kiss him too? And, you know, what's really awesome is that they've chosen a lot of actors that, I mean, I've not seen them in anything before, and not to say that they haven't been, but it's nice to see some new actors and actresses that, sorry, dude got himself a little excited. He barks at everything, you guys. So anyways, yes, Bridgerton, good show. Now I've binge watched and now have to wait until December 2021 for the new season to come out, but worth it. So if you have either read the books or are watching the show, definitely worth it. And then the other thing is, I started watching Anne with an E, so Anne of Green Gables, and there's 4 seasons to that, at least on Netflix. And I have binge watched that so much. Oh my gosh. I love Anne of Green Gables, and I watch everything that is Anne related. And but that's also a really good show. So if you're looking for and you love Anne of Green Gables or you know, PEI and the whole Canada, I mean, it's from where I'm not from PEI, but Canada itself. And so it's wonderful to hear the accent that we apparently have. And it's just really sweet to hear some Canadian words again. So good show, Anne with an E, that's what it's called. So really good. And then the last thing that I want to do is a spotlight on a stitcher. So I hadn't done that in the last couple of videos. And and not because I'm not watching Flosstube, I am. But a new one that I found is cataloging my stitches. Her name is Kim, and I forget where she's from. Pennsylvania? Philadelphia, I think, is what she said. And her name is Kim. She's got 3 videos so far, and she is a librarian in a university. And she, did she say it was classic books or rare books? Something like that. Anyways, she's really interesting. She's got 3 videos out. She did the Know Your Needleworker tag. I have to look at my notes. What she had me at was in her first video. She had talked about, you know, she doesn't have pets or kids, but she loves pets, and her family has had dogs and like Goldens, and she would love to have an Irish Wolfhound. Well, I have wanted an Irish Wolfhound forever. I think that they're beautiful dogs, and they're so loyal and so scary to look at. They're not. They're lovable, and so she had me at Irish Wolfhound. When she mentioned that, I was like, I'll continue watching you. So that was fun. She started stitching in the mid-90s while she was going to college, and she was making some gifts for people in her life. And she's come back to cross stitching just recently, I think since May of 2020, you know, while we were all in COVID lockdown. And she's come back to stitching, and she's got an impressive amount of whips for somebody who has just come back to stitching in May. And she's got a wide variety of stitching that she does, and she likes Mira's like I do, and Plum Street samplers, and Satsuma Street, and like just a wide variety of frosted pumpkin, like just all kinds of different cross stitching, and it's all beautiful. And she's got quite a few whips, and she also has a love of project bags like I do. I'm like, oh my goodness. I mean, don't we all, right? So so go check her out. I will have her link below when I get my show notes up, which probably will be tomorrow. But cataloging my stitches is her Flosstube name. I don't know if she's on Instagram. And but she's got a whip parade, and she's also doing Wipgo 2021, and she's also doing the magazine, you know, the monthly magazine stitching thing. So she's doing that as well. But yeah, an interesting stitcher. So go check her out. So I think that's all that I've got for this Flosstube. So thank you for joining me, and I am going to go get ready for the Zoom meeting, and I hope that you all have a really happy stitching week, and stay safe, stay healthy, keep wearing those masks, nose and chin, and wash your hands and put on lotion. All right, I hope you have a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.